Hello Libra, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Vickieverlie, the Rock and Roll Prophetess. Today we're going to do a tarot reading for Libra Sun sign, Libra Rising, and Libra Moon. A little bit about me. I've been in the metaphysical field for over 30 years. I started as a tarot reader. I do psychic astrology, channeling, I write books, I create decks, I do all sorts of stuff. You can find out more information about me below. As to what we're going to do today, we're going to be using the Rock and Roll Tarot deck for the main portion of our reading, as always. Then we're going to pull a card from the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle card to get your animal totem for the month. If you're a level 2 Patreon supporter, there's going to be 3 additional cards pulled from the Circle of Life Tarot. And I wanted to make a very quick announcement and let everybody know that we are going to be open for the Libra Ingress reading, which is going to be taking place in next month, actually, but I give myself a little time because it's always very popular. A lot of people usually want to get that reading, so it will be available for a limited time. Check it out if you're interested. I know a lot of you order it regularly at the regular quarterly. Again, my most popular readings are these quarterly readings. Today we're going to do what I've done is I've done a real good shuffle in between, and now we're just going to do our very loose shuffle, and this is going to allow spirit guides and angels to pull out the cards that are meant for you. As I lay the cards out, please do look at them, because you are going to get, if you allow your spirit guides and angels to come through, you can get messages just from the words on here, whether it's the actual word that you're drawn to, or even a word that looks like it says one thing when it actually says another. Sometimes those are the best messages because you're really tuning into Spirit's really trying to show you something from this. There's a couple powerful things going on with the astrology this month. First of all, on 8/8, we're having a new moon, and that is also known as the Lion's Gate. It's a very powerful time every year, but add into the mix that new moon and it makes it uber powerful. It's in the sign of Leo, which is a nice sextile to your energy, so it could be very favorable and positive for you, but it's also a hugely powerful time for manifestation and creation for everybody, and that's August 8th. And then also on August 22nd, we're going to have a second new moon in Aquarius. This is also a very rare, fairly rare occurrence. It's called a zodiac blue moon. We have two signs. We had a full moon in Aquarius last month. Actually, I'm recording this on the full moon in Aquarius. And then we're going to have another full moon in Aquarius on the 22nd. So two, and that is in the sign of Aquarius, which is a powerful trine energy to you because that's a fellow air sign. So again, working very harmoniously with your energy. We do have a lineup down here before we really get into the nitty-gritty of this reading. We do have this lineup down below of these court cards, which represent people. These readings are gender neutral, so they do not necessarily represent a male or female as they are represented on the card. It could just be anybody because we're reading for so many people here. Okay, that being said, let's get into the individual cards. The very first card out was the Sun, and the Sun is a beautiful card of positive energy and vibes. It talks about your shining, your glowing. Sun is also the ruler of, this light's a little too bright, isn't it? How about like that? One more. This one? There we go. Yeah, this is also the ruler of Leo, and we are in the time of Leo for the majority of the month, and that Lion's Gate energy. So it's just talking about that you could really benefit from utilizing this Leo energy. The sun is shining on you. You're in a very positive state where you're really shining and glowing. Right next to it, we have the Strength card, which traditionally would mean having strength and having patience. But if you look again, we've got the 8 and we've got the Lion card here. It's for the Leo. So they're really driving it home, Libra, that Lion's Gate of 8/8, I feel, is going to be so, so powerful for you. And then we do have, the next on over, is another 8 in the 8 of Cups. So we've got a couple of 8s showing up here. We got 8/8. And then also on the 8 of Cups card, there is the moon as on there. So again, it's going to bring home these new and full moons are super powerful. The bigger message of the 8 of Cups is always moving on, though. Even if you've put a lot of time and effort into a situation, it's time to move on. You're seeking something greater. You're seeking something new. And it's time to move forward towards that. Here you are, whether you're male or female, this is the Swords person, this is you. It could be also represent other Swords people, including Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini would be the 3 air sign people that it would represent. It's showing as a king. We've got two kings here. The kings are always more, male or female, they're more further along on their path. They're not a novice, they're more of an expert. They know who they are, they know what they want, they know they're more along the line of mastery. They're closer to mastery. So you're showing up as a king. That's a very good sign. And you're also in a line with the Sun card and the Fool card. The Fool is, again, a very powerful, positive card of new beginnings. So that new moon on the Lion's Gate is going to be so powerful for you. This is taking a shot, taking a chance, trusting in the universe, that the universe has your back and that you're going to land on your feet and everything's going to work out okay. You probably are, many of you are experiencing some self-doubt because you're just surrounded with just wonderful, beautiful cards. But right in the very middle, we do have this Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is a card of feeling less than, feeling a little down in the dumps, feeling not worthy, feeling maybe not only not worthy, but not strong enough to do it. The Strength card is bringing in that strength. It's telling you, you are strong enough to do it. You do have the strength to do this or anything that you possibly could want in life. You have the strength to do it and believe and make it happen. So here you are down at the end. You have the High Priestess as well. So the High Priestess, again, is talking about trust your inner guidance. Listening to that intuition. Your intuition is going to be right on, and it does have that sliver moon on it. This is very much, again, it's a lunar or moon card. We've got this moon energy. We've got sun and moon energy showing up. So those are those new and full moons. But your intuition is going to be right on. You have a feeling. Even if you have nothing more to go on than a feeling, you should go for it, And I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow, don't leave yourself hanging. But, you could start on a new thing. You could, if you want to leave your job, you could start sending out resumes. You could start building that side hustle, that business up. Go for it. That's what this is saying. If you have a hunch that it might work, go ahead and do it. Even if it's against all odds of what anybody else is saying. I was thinking about this recently. Well, I've been bringing up in the readings, I was the first person to invent this format of the monthly tarot scopes. I'm not trying to hold any grudges. It was an idea whose time to come. But everybody's doing it now. So it would have happened, if it wasn't me, it would have been somebody else anyways. But another thing that years ago, when websites first came out and people were buying up domains, I remember somebody bought up, I think it was Ford, they bought Ford.com and then Ford bought it off them, and everybody I knew was scrambling around buying up domains, to try to be that next get rich on a domain thing. And I remember saying, I'm tarot.com. At that time too, you could only get so many, astrology wouldn't work because there was not enough. You're only allowed so many letters in the domain name. But tarot was T-A-R-O-T, 5 letters, yeah. 5 letters was work. I go, I should get tarot.com. And I went out and I talked to everybody. They're all talking about, did you hear about Ford.com? They bought it up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about buying tarot.com. Everybody I told that to laughed at me. What? Tarot.com? What? That'll never happen. That's never going to. So I listened to them and I didn't do it. Sure enough, a few years later, the person who did have tarot.com, they sold that thing for $1 million or something. But they had actually built up the site. But I had that idea. My inner knowing told me, but get tarot.com, buy that website. But the outer circumstances, maybe, I got laughed right out of everybody I talked to. What? Are you crazy? No way, tarot.com. What are you talking about? So it might even, it's not a time to listen to all these other people. It's a time to really go within and trust your own inner thing. If something's telling you to do something, do it. Don't listen to everybody else, to the naysayers necessarily. Because it's definitely talking about there could be some risk involved. You might have to put yourself out there a little bit. You might have to stick your neck out a little bit. As far as the people that are showing in the spread, though, if we look down here, they're all in the upright position and they're all showing up as very positive. Right? Starting with the Queen of Cups, standing right by your side, looking right at you. Queen of Cups, water energy. Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. Could be a female, but again, these are gender neutral. And then we move on to the King of Pentacles. Also, King, like you, they've done just as much work as you have. They're just as far along as you are. You're not going to be carrying them. These guys pull their own weight. The King of Pentacles is possibly an earth sign, a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. Or could be as we move into the sign of Virgo later in the month. And that's going to be after, what, the 22nd for most people. We're going to move from Leo into Virgo. So there's going to be an influx of people, yes, but these aren't the people that are telling you, oh, that's a stupid idea, or what are you, crazy, that'll never fly, or blah, 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 blah. And that might not only be like in the present tense, that could also be way back in the, in the past. This could be, a lot of times when we get in this zone, we get in this space of this Five of Pentacle energy where we're doubting ourselves and we're not feeling up to snuff or feeling, powerful. It's because of things that happened maybe when we were kids or, all sorts of other, times like that. So that could be the case too. But anyways, you are in a position of mastery. You have people who are going to show up that are on your level, and walk with you, walk beside you. Look how you're all lined up. They're walking beside you. One is not above the other. You're all on equal ground. And that's how Libra likes it the best, right? You guys like it when the scales are balanced like that. Okay, I'm going to shuffle up real quickly. A quick mention again, don't forget about the Libra ingress that's coming up. That's so powerful for your sign. That's one of your most powerful times of the year, that Libra ingress. And that's when the sun moves into your sign, but it's also when we all shift seasons, so it's a very powerful time for everybody, and especially for you Libras. So if you're interested in that, you can find out that information. Will be available for a limited time. Let's go ahead and get our animal totem card for our Libra friends. Grasshopper. Grasshopper is leaping forward, but also Grasshopper, I always think of that apprentice from the old Kung Fu show. Remember that? It's like, yes, Grasshopper, you have learned the lesson. And I feel like that's kind of what's coming through here with these kings. It's like, yeah, you've learned the lesson. You're not the apprentice. You're the master. The apprentice becomes the master. That's part of Grasshopper, because they go through a lot of metamorphosis, but also Grasshopper is about really taking leaps forward, things just coming up and leaping forward quickly. It's usually when Grasshopper energy is present, it's usually not a gradual thing. It's usually, big leaps. Health, blessings, fertility, the gift of song. Inspired creation reveals your true spirit. Reincarnation, discovering your soul path, advancement by leaps and bounds. Yeah, it's all those kinds of things. And I feel like some of you are going to see that Grasshopper and you're going to get that confirmation. I know where I live in the northern hemisphere, and the eastern part of the United States, east of the Mississippi, that this is the time, not grasshoppers necessarily, but crickets. Like this in August, because it always reminds me of my mom, and it was her birthday. She was a Leo. But in August, the crickets, they're just singing away, and I find them in the house and all over too. So, this is that time of year, every year for that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get our animal, not our animal totem, but we're going to shuffle up for the Patreon piece. But first, real quickly, it's also back to school time. And if you or anybody, your kids or anybody are going back to school, I have these awesome journals. They're 8x10. They turned out really cool. They'd be great for an after school. They're only $6 and some change through Amazon. You can get free shipping. Or maybe you just want a beautiful journal just to write for yourself, to write your thoughts down in. And they come in sketchbooks and journals both. So if you go and get some back to school thing, or again, if you're just interested for your own self, that's cool too, either way. Also, what I've been doing this spiritual art stuff, and it's just, it's life-changing. I've been to channel forever. I've channeled music since I was very young, and then lately I've been channeling writing. I'm doing the books, so the Broadcast for Humanity. That's been going on. Is it Broadcast for Humanity, or I forget what I call it? I had the Broadcasts on the Universe and Transmissions for Humanity. I've been doing lately with the writing, and now I'm also doing it with art. And these paintings that are coming forward are really powerful and really cool. So I'm going to talk more about that and how you can get some prints if you're interested next. If you want to stay tuned, that'll be coming up next. Otherwise, hey Libras, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for everything that you do by purchasing my wares. I have decks, I have books, I have have shirts, I have the journals, I have the readings, I have personalized art, and then we're going to have the prints of the arts, so all sorts of cool stuff. And you get something nice for yourself and also help me out. That's awesome. But there's also things that you can do that don't cost anything, like hitting that like and subscribe button. People tell me all the time they can't find me. Well, if you hit the subscribe button, then you'll be able to find me. That also signals the YouTube algorithm that I have the content that people are interested in. So maybe I get put back in the mix a little more, and that's always, helpful. So thank you all for people who do that. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great month of August. Very powerful, Lion's Gate. Do your manifestation work. You can create miracles. See you again next month. Hi everyone, Vickieverlie here. Many of you know me as a tarot reader on YouTube. While I've been reading tarot for over 40 years, I've always been involved in various avenues of metaphysical exploration. As a lifelong musician, I've always known that the music I was writing was coming through me, and that I was connecting with something higher than myself during the writing process. It wouldn't be till years later that I could put a name to it. Channeling. I realize now that I've been channeling music and receiving channeled messages in the readings all along. Although I have written lyrics, I never really seriously applied the process to writing until 2012, when I wrote my first metaphysical novella, Starseed, A Pleiadian Tale of Love. The writing of this book was so filled with synchronicities. There were things coming through based on historical facts that I had no way of knowing. By the end of the book, it was clear that I was just taking dictation as the story unfolded in my mind's eye. Several years later, in 2019, I followed up with a full-on channeled book, The Transmissions for Humanity, Book 1, and the transmissions show no sign of stopping. Around that same time, I felt called to revisit my fine art roots. I've been making art my whole life, since I could hold a crayon in my hand. But since the advent of personal computers, I was primarily a digital artist. After digging my old art supplies out of the attic, I found I was pretty rusty. But it found it so calming and meditative that I made it a regular practice. Since then, my art has evolved into what I'm calling interdimensional art or interdimensional art. Yet another form of channeling, the images and messages emerge through the art, and the results are amazing. The energetic frequencies that are coming through the arts are undeniable. While I am not the first person to engage in this type of channeling, I am indeed an avid practitioner of the art. Behind me are a few of my recent paintings that I am making available in the form of fine art prints. These high-quality giclée prints are printed on 100% archival paper using archival certified light-fast inks meant to last a lifetime. Each print includes a certificate of authenticity and a handwritten thank you note by myself. If you would like to own one of these prints for yourself, I've included a link in the video description below. Thanks for watching.